Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. A brand new day in which I took my bracelet off because I put it on for vlogging and went down to the bathroom, had to wash my hands, took the bracelet off, forgot to put it back on, so it's down in the bathroom. Yay! Well, for the daily Shelton, Washington weather report, it is dark outside. It's not raining. It was raining last night. I took my umbrella with me, and I used it the entire time, and so, it happens. But I almost didn't go walkies, and that's going to tie into this, because this is a new story. He's gone quiet over here, but last night my housemates came home around 6 o'clock, and they said, hey, come on downstairs. And when I did, they had a little box. And inside of that box, don't be too scared, is a fuzzy little guy. So I have another fuzzy little guy. He's orange. He doesn't have a name yet. I haven't even had him 12 hours yet. So I gotta be very careful. He could go jumping. He could do something very silly. But he's a good little guy. You gotta make sure not to grab him too hard, so I'm trying not to scare him and not to hurt him, and I don't want him to get too frightened, so I'm gonna put him back in the bucket now. So, he's a good little guy. He's happy and friendly, and he's a sweetheart, and I've got him in this bucket for the moment because his cage is over here, and I wanted to be able to get to him. So, actually, I should probably put him back in his cage now. So, come here, little guy. Come on, I need to grab a hold of you. I know. And then into the cage, and he fell into the cage. He twisted in such a way that he just flat fell. Oh, I need to turn off. Is that speaker on, or is that speaker just... I have to move this bucket. I have Bluetooth speakers, and unfortunately, my computer doesn't have Bluetooth. So, I have to use a physical wired connection, but they're battery operated, and for right now I'm trying not to destroy the batteries, so when they get low, they'll go, bing, battery low. It means to charge it. So I got that one charging, my other one's fine, but you turn them on, you turn them off, and they say power on and power off. Ugh. I don't really like my equipment talking to me. It's not a person. There's no AI in it. There's nothing that's going to talk back to me properly. So don't talk. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's just another tool, and it's a tool type that I have no interest in. So thumbs up on that. But yes, I got that new little guy, and he's running around in his cage again. I've emptied out a big old bin here. And he's running around, and he's got bedding and food and stuff to chew on and hides. A very good thing. It is good to have hamsters back in your life, especially if you're a hamster person, and I am. I mean, as I have talked about, we discover the things we like and dislike, what we believe in, what we disbelieve in. I mean, you can be talked into, even talked into. You can believe other things, but it's when you run across something, you first know whether you believe in it or not. But that's just your wiring. I am a cat person. I love all animals. I mean, I've had dogs and like dogs, but cats make my heart melt. I like rodents of all kinds. I really like rats. Guinea pigs are okay. They're cute, but they don't really do much for me. But hamsters, my heart just melts. It's just the way I'm wired. Thumbs up for that. But now I've got another hamster. And as I talked with my housemates and I've talked with my therapist on this, I'm quite sure that my depression has been related to a lack of hamsters of late. Not specifically that it's no hamsters. It's just taking care of a cat doesn't involve a whole lot. You make sure the cat box is, clean-ish. You make sure the cat has food, and then you pet it when it comes up and says, hey, I want affection. Past that, you don't really have to worry about a cat. Hamsters, you do. You have to go out of your way to make sure that they're going to be okay. You got to make sure their cage is okay. You got to do spot cleaning on the cage. You got to work out ways to keep them going. You got to keep them safe. It's not just fire and forget. Hamsters require work. It gets you out of your head, out into the world, dealing with other things than yourself. And that is very important. So with another hamster, now that I've got a little hamster, it's good. Oh, I just love hamsters so much. I am so glad. Now my housemates, they want to get another hamster as well. They had been planning on getting me a hamster before, but just didn't. And then they happened to be at a pet store and took a look at hamsters, and they just had to get a hamster. They want to get one themselves so that they want to have babies, that there's more hamsters. I'm not into breeding anymore because I can't give proper veterinary care if there's an issue. I don't have the money to be able to take like a pregnant hamster off to a vet. I don't even know if we have a vet that takes care of small animals. We have one vet in town, and I know it does cats and stuff like that, but I don't know about hamsters. So, if something happens, it happens. If not, then not. And that's okay. Definitely. But it's good to have hamsters in your life if you're into hamsters. Again, you only discover what you like and dislike because of the wiring in your head when you run across it. You know, it's like, oh, I like it. Oh, I don't like that. So if you don't like hamsters or they do nothing for you, then just understand that if you like cats, it's just another cat for me. If you like dogs, it's just another kind of dog, especially since hamsters, fully mature hamsters, the way that they act and look, they look like miniature bears. And they look like miniature dogs. So they're like little miniature dog bears. Thumbs up for that. Also, I did go walkies last night and did a whole bunch of thinking about a whole bunch of stuff, none of which I was able to write down. And so none of it I remember. However, I did want to talk about this. Now, this is the bad part about stretching things out, because it's been like 2 years that I first started talking about my cosmic horror pantheon, that there are probably a few people, maybe not many, because I don't have a ton of viewers, you know, but thank you each and every one of you that does watch. It is greatly appreciated. But I do talk about my creative endeavors, like my cosmic horror pantheon. I've wanted to talk about some of those others, because I've talked about like Satyr and Gotzi Ray. I haven't talked a whole lot about Beta Nera, but there's Aerogots and Jima Ray, and all these I've kind of talked about, and I've talked a little bit about what Tamakaноso, who is another one of the cosmic horrors, and what they do, but not further on its actual personality on this, because Tamakaноso is a kind of wolf-like cosmic horror. In fact, it's kind of like the essence of wolf. Nothing fluffy and friendly about it. It's take everything that is the essence of danger on 4 legs in wolf form and then concentrate it and multiply it. There's nothing fluffy and friendly about Tamakaноso. It is essence of wolf. And it has a pack that it runs with, and it's an ever-changing, ever-growing pack. The only constant about it is that it's the pack, because Tamakaноso, like any of the other cosmic horrors, doesn't really age like anyone else. The pack is continuously getting new members maturing, and then the older ones passing on through accident, old age. When they go running, sometimes the food manages to fight back and take out some of them. So the pack is always changing and always growing, but the one constant about that is the pack. And that is what Tamakaноso is just absolutely in love with. It would gladly tear the heart out of the multiverse if that would help its pack. And they run. And I've talked about this part before, but they run, because when you are running and just running, there is no past, there is no present, there is only right now. There is no thinking. There is no planning. There is only being. You're existing in the moment, at the moment, and nothing else. And that is just freeing and raw. And so they run. And there's millions in his, well, not his, they are genderless beings in their pack. And when they run through 1,000,000 worlds in a day. And as stated, it takes a lot of energy to run. So let's say if they happen to be running through our particular universe, and they came running through our world here, it would be just all of a sudden from every patch of forest on the planet, all of these gigantic wolves would suddenly race out. And before we could do a thing, they would just be running and eating everybody. Because, for the context of the story, intelligence in the multiverse includes, well, not includes, but has a lot of quantum knotting, in that there's a lot of quantum stuff inside of our heads, which is true, but for the context of the story, there's a little bit more. And if you are a creature that can directly feast on that quantum knotting, it is extremely nutritious and very tasty. But that also, the quantum knotting, seasons the meat of the rest of the body. So if you cannot directly eat the quantum knotting, if you eat the meat, well, it's good and good for you. Better than non-intelligent food. Twice the calories. So yeah, if you are an intelligent being in the multiverse, well, there's an infinite amount of universes spawning more all the time, so the odds of your ever being devoured by anything are very, very low. Because each femtosecond there are an infinite amount of universes being spawned out of just the atomic particles in a fingernail. So there's a lot of universes, so you're pretty safe. But still, if they did, they would just come bursting out of all of the forests of the world, and then just be running and eating. Within 24 hours, there would be no more human life on the planet. Every single man, woman, and child, and non-binaries and all that, would have just been eaten because, boy, we're tasty. And delicious and nutritious. Well, tasty and delicious, same thing, but we're good and good for you. So after eating absolutely everyone on the planet, they all run back into the woods and then burst out into a forest on another planet in another universe. And they eat. And they do this on 1,000,000 worlds in a day, eating everybody. And then it's time to rest. When the females are not in heat, everyone just flops into great piles and sleeps. When the females are in heat and it's breeding season, Tamakanuso gets up and leaves and goes out walking because it cares for its pack so much. It knows that each of the females has to breed. And Tamakanuso, being a cosmic horror, is sterile, a mule. There is no way for it to reproduce. It can't. And it cares for its pack so much, it is not going to rob even one breeding age female of the opportunity to breed just for a moment's empty pleasure. So when the pack slows down and starts sniffing each other and getting a little bit antsy, it gets up and just goes out walking until it can come back. And it can tell to the femtosecond when it has to be back, when everybody is done. And it can go wandering through various universes with a little marker that when it's time, steps back. And there it is. So that's Tamakanuso. living for the moment. Yay! And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now, except accidentally with my... It's called parafoveal, but it's like your peripheral vision. You can see the things around what you're looking at. And I've got pretty good parafoveal vision, so I can sometimes read the sentences without even meaning to. And if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that. And even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibromyalgia, ADHD, and more, I am amazed that I can remember anything at all, to be honest. So we have Anime Fan, thank you very, very much. And Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Can't Want, thumbs up and thank you. Double X Sir Tricky, double X, thank you. Donk PT, greatly appreciated. Mikey Flores, greatly appreciated. Eddie Dick, thumbs up. King Apnea, Hokey smokes. Not a good thing to be a king of. J.R. Rosales 100, thumbs up. Samanitha 89, I like that name, thumbs up. Made in Canada, good to see you in the comments. Bruh, thank you very, very much. Yo Snerd, that was very cool, thank you very much. Andreas Oikonomou, Oikonomou, I was nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. Zombie Wolf, good to see you back, and I hope you get that thing on your videos fixed. Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. And Russian Timing, good to see you in the comments, my friend. Hellboy, greatly appreciated, and thank you much for the information, that's the word. Insignificant Nick, thumbs up, and yeah, everybody needs a shout out. Everybody needs a little bit of recognition, even when you're about to get your skin peeled off. Sierra Tapper, greatly appreciated, and thank you for the info. Riggy Bettini, greatly appreciated, and definitely. Christopher Thomas, thumbs up, and we have Potato Tron. Good to see you in the comments, my friend. Thank you, and good information. Shatter Q, thumbs up, and thank you. And last but not least, Sebastian Ferris. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, if only in text, and that is important. When you are depressed, you need other voices inside of the echo chamber of your own thoughts. Definitely a good thing. And I've opened up. I have not opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I have already done that. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out financially without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage or the pay. I also have an Amazon wish list link down below with things like cat food and hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. I'm even going to put hamster food back on there because I got a hamster to feed. I still have some food from before, but it'll be good. So definitely a thumbs up. Let's see, where do I go from here? If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definite thumbs up, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a good thing. Thank you very, very much. And of course, the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. It is ready, not eager, but ready to cast that scorn upon any and all whom it finds disappointing. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. And of course, Black Lives Matter. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly. Really. Black Lives Matter. And justice for everybody, the jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs in police uniforms who keep beating, brutalizing, and murdering American citizens in the streets, and in their homes. Oy vey. Ugh. So, if you don't have to go out, please don't go out. If you do have to go out, wear a mask. Please, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, and maintain your social distancing. It's painful, but it's less painful than dying in a hospital on a ventilator. So, You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. Practice what self-care you can. Be as creative as you can. And be as safe as you can.